My friend Ravi Zacharias is the best man that I've ever known. But that's not the best thing about him. The best thing about him is that that thought never would have crossed his mind. Never have I known someone who was so successful at what he did and yet so humble. He even suggested that we hold this memorial service in the RZIM chapel. We reminded him that the RZIM chapel seats about a dozen people, to which he responded, "Do you think we'll need to use the auditorium?" At that point, his best friend Sanj jumped in and said, "Ravi, what are you talking about? Half of India is coming. They're all on their way right now, and every one of them is going to make a presentation. We're going to be there for weeks." And oh man, was Ravi laughing with that beautiful smile. It never would have crossed Ravi's mind to think of how many people would want to honor him because he was always so focused on honoring others, no matter what. One time during Q&A, a man came to the microphone and he gave an aggressive monologue of all of his reasons for not believing, even despising Christianity. Then he stormed off towards the exit. Many speakers would have been happy to see him go. Ravi leapt out of his chair. He ran to the edge of the stage, his foot leaning off, pleading with the man to come back. "Sir, please don't go. Please come back. I care about your question. Please let me try to respond." Of all the people in the audience, that was the person that Ravi longed for most. He had this tenacious, Christ-like desire for the one. Ravi was equally a pursuer of truth and a pursuer of people, and that was not accidental. Today's secular philosophies theorize that truth bearers, the things that are true, are either propositions or sentences or beliefs or facts, all abstract, all impersonal, all intangible. Ravi knew deep in his soul that the bearer of truth is a person, the person who bore his sin on a blood-stained cross, the person who bore his shame on a bed of suicide, the person who set the bearings for his entire life. Ravi showed us that because truth is a person, it is impossible to pursue truth without pursuing people. A colleague recently mentioned Ravi's illness to a contract worker who was doing some work in the building. Assuming she might not even know who Ravi is, she began to sob. She had to hold onto the wall as she cried and cried. She shared that the first time Ravi saw her, he walked right up to her and greeted her by name and thanked her for her hard work. That meant so much to her that she looked him up online and began watching his videos, and even though she's from a different religious background, she is now pursuing Christ. Truth is being pursued because the person was pursued, because Ravi knew her by name. Always be prepared to give the reason for the hope that you have. Our calling is to share hope. And what produces hope? Paul tells us in Romans 5, we glory in our sufferings because we know that our sufferings produce endurance, character, and character, hope. We are called to share hope, and hope is produced by character. Many people are smart. Many people are uniquely gifted. Ravi had something much more rare and much more valuable, character, a character fully submitted to Christ, which therefore overflowed with the hope that we are called to share. My last words to Ravi were, we wish that we could go with you, but we promise to carry on the vision that God entrusted to you. Suffering, endurance, character, hope. The literal meaning for that word endurance is remaining behind. Through Ravi's suffering, may we who remain behind commit ourselves to the character of Christ, which alone produces the only hope worth sharing with the world. As we do, what joy to imagine Ravi receiving from his beloved Jesus the same honor that Ravi bestowed on so many. You must be Ravi. Thank you for your hard work. I love you. Welcome home.